Hi, welcome to Let's Get Personal. I'm your host, EvaJoyce. Today we have an exciting guest on our program. Her name is Cheryl Howell. She's a very unique artist, and I just wanted to let you see some of the stuff that she's done over the years, and you're going to find her so exciting and so unique. I know you're going to want to be able to get a hold of her, so at the end of the program we're going to have her email address on the air so you can contact her yourself.
Last night and early in the morning, last night and all the night through, last night and early in the morning, I dreamed I made love to you. Last night while we were dancing,
Cheryl, it is so good to have you on our program. We are so excited to be with you today. I met you in the park a couple of weeks ago, and we had so much fun. You were there with a lot of groups, that just love the Beatles. And how long have you been doing this?
That was the Nashville Beatles group that we were with, and we meet up once a month, and Vicki started the group back in, I believe, 2005, and I joined in 6, so about 7 years. And it's just a great place for people that are interested in the Beatles or want to learn about the Beatles to get together and talk about their music and their books and their movies, and we have movie nights, and there's always festivals going on, and it's just a good way to get together and share a love that we all have.
Mm. And you have the Wanna Beatles?
Yeah, the local bands, we've got the Wanna Beatles, and then in Franklin we have 64, we have Fab up in Nashville and Mystery Trip, and then of course there's a lot of touring bands that come through, Rain and 64 the band and different things like that. So there's always different kinds of music going on in Nashville besides country music.
Okay, that's good. I grew up singing opera, and my dad made me sing country, and I didn't like country at the time.
That was my dad. He grew up, I listened to country growing up to where when the Beatles came out, that I fell in love. That was it for me, and since I saw them on Ed Sullivan, that's been the direction that my life has gone, and everything has pretty much been centered around the Beatles in one way or another. And then after they split up, it was pretty much Paul.
I think everybody loved Paul.
Oh, well.
There was just something about him that the women went crazy over.
No, he had those what do they call them, bedroom eyes?
Yeah,
yes.
Those bedroom eyes.
Yes, the cute Beatle. And he still is today.
He is, he is. I don't see much change in him, from back in them days. His voice is still so clear and so wonderful, and he still mesmerizes all the women.
Oh, he does that, but he's expanded so much from back then with the type of music that he's gone into. He does classical, he does opera, he does ballet.
Really?
He does children's. I mean, there's probably not anything that Paul hasn't touched at one time or another.
Yeah. Cheryl, how did you get started painting?
Well, when I was about 6 years old, my mother was, and she'll say she's not an artist, but I think she's so much better than I am, but she did paintings, and she sent me down and started me drawing Walt Disney characters. And I'm what I consider a copy artist. You show me a picture of something and I can draw it, or I can paint it, or I can do it into stained glass, or whatever other medium I happen to be working in. But it's my mother that got me started. And it's something that I was good at, and I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and so when you have 6 kids, you have to find something to keep yourself occupied with.
Yeah,
so
that's for sure.
For me, it was art and music. Those were my 2 passions.
Do you sing?
No, I do not sing.
Do you play an instrument?
I play at the keyboard. I would be like Linda. You'd have to just kind of ignore me, and I'd just stand there and look pretty.
Well, with all your talent, you don't need anything else.
Oh, thank you.
I just, have you been selling some of your paintings? And
Since I've moved to Nashville and have started having more time to do some of my artwork, yes, I've started selling some of the paintings, and I've had a showing at the Renaissance Center over in Dixon, And I sold quite a few of the little miniature paintings there, and then I have several big pieces that are hanging in some places that I've done. So yeah, not anything to get rich by, but you know, it makes me happy to know that people have my art hanging in their homes. So
Yeah, and they really
that for me
appreciate you.
Yeah, and I give a lot of it away. I've done a lot of benefits and
Right.
provided artwork for the different benefits. So it makes me feel good.
I just got so excited. You even made. Did you see this? Can you see this on camera here? I don't know if you could see it. This is a Kleenex box. Look at this. She made this, and it's got all the Beatles. She painted every one of these Beatles on here. Isn't this exciting? Look at this. Can you see? You can see John Lennon. And you can see Ringo. You can see Paul McCartney on there. Isn't that so neat? I can't believe she'd take anything and make a Beatle out of it.
Yes, tennis shoes.
Did you see her tennis shoes? Show me your tennis shoes. Can you see those? Those are so unique.
Yeah.
I just can't get over
If it can be painted on, I'll paint on it.
She made her jacket. She made that Sergeant Pepper's jacket. Isn't that cute? Look at it.
Yes.
It's got everything on it. Look.
That's for my shows.
Yeah, that is so cute. I don't know if you can see close up the jewelry that she has. I hope you can get her rings and her watches. Everything that this girl owns happens to have the Beatles on it. Everything. Yes. I mean, she does other artwork too, don't you? Different celebrities.
Yeah, I'll paint just about anything, but the Beatles are probably my #1.
Yeah, they're your favorite.
Yes, and they sell better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everybody wants Beatles.
Well, there's something else she's got that you guys got to see.
My car.
I wasn't talking about your car. I was talking about her tattoos.
Oh, the tattoos, yeah.
I hope that she can show you some of the tattoos that's on her body.
I'll have to stand
She
up.
loves the Beatles so much she had to get them put all over her body. Can you see that tattoo? See if you can get in a close shot of that. Her Sergeant Pepper tattoo there.
And then
Can you see there?
there's all 4 of them there.
Yes. We're going to do striptease today. Can you see some of those? Can you see her back? There's Paul on her back.
And wings.
Can you see that?
And then I've got his name across the bottom.
Yeah, can you see her bottom? Can you see the back part of her?
That sounds just, can you see her bottom?
Can you see her bottom?
And then I've got
It goes
Abbey
upside-
Road over here, and that's McCartney Productions Limited. I don't think that I have to work for Paul because the logo's actually reversed.
Oh,
So I don't think I'm
that's so
infringing
cute.
on
And
any
her Beatles,
copyrights.
her Beatles top that she's got on.
Oh,
That's so cute. She's got Beatle earrings.
watch, earrings, necklace.
All of her bracelets and everything. Everything's Beatles.
Yes.
Can you imagine that? In your house. Is
My
your
house
bedspread.
is my house.
Everything
my,
is Beatles.
Yes, my towels, my blankets.
Her towels and her
my
blankets.
bed.
I can't believe it. Oh
Yes.
my God, I've
My
never heard anybody.
office.
I've never heard of anybody like that.
Oh, that's
In
just
my
gone
whole
to
life.
the extreme that I have. Yeah.
But all of you guys are just wild about the Beatles.
Mhm.
I mean, I've
Fine.
never seen anybody have everything Beatles in my whole life, or anything. I've seen people collect penguins and frogs and things like that, but I've never seen anybody collect celebrities. And it's so wild. I just want to show some of the things that you have, other things that you've made. You've made this purse here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see this? Can you see close-up shot of the purse that she's done? How did you make this?
That's an album cover. I have several of the Ram album covers, so you can pick them up a lot of times.
Can you
They won't
see?
have the albums in them anymore.
The back?
And just cut it, cover it in plastic. I've used just plastic tubing for a handle, stitched it together, and
Isn't that something? Can you see these shoes up here?
the yellow submarine.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
the yellow submarine.
Those were a hit at Abbey Road on the river last year.
Let's see if I can get that on there right. Can you see the back of the yellow submarine in back of her? How did you do that?
That's called glass stain. It's supposed to look like stained glass, and actually it's all comes in a bottle, and you lay down your lead lines, let it dry, and then you just squeeze in the colors you want and let it dry, and then hang it in the window.
And you don't have to
And
bake it in the oven or anything?
No, just let it air dry.
It is so cute.
They're fun.
That is so cute.
That's what I've been doing lately is the glass stain. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like I said, she does other artists, so, you know, if you'd like to get a hold of Cheryl, we'll have her email address at the end of the program, so you can see that, and it's like, there's so many things you've got. What you're known for, though, is your beetle bug.
My Volkswagen, yes. Yes, I've been videotaped. Had my picture taken with it. I've shown up in 4 newspapers that I know of. So yeah.
I saw it once on television. I didn't know what it was. I didn't have no idea I'd be interviewing her on television.
Yeah, I'm known as the Beatles lady in Franklin. People, they'll see me on the street and they're like, "You're the one that has the Volkswagen." I'm like, "Yeah, that would be me."
Oh, that is so cute. Can you show us some pictures?
Pictures of it? Yeah.
This is a front
That
view.
is the front end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
She painted that.
yeah, all the decals I made myself out of vinyl and then put it on it. And then, can you see? I believe that's the back. There are 1 or 2 printed bumper stickers that I've been given that I put on, but most of them are mine. Then that's the side. And then when I want people to really talk about me, I go out riding with Sir Paul. He rode with me when I went down to Atlanta to see him in Atlanta, and every rest stop that I stopped at, people just had a fit, had to have their picture taken with him.
You are too much.
Last year, or 2 years ago when I saw him here in Nashville, I had a different cutout, and that cutout is now with the Wanna Beatles, and their fans have their pictures taken with him, so.
Oh, you are too much. I can't believe this.
Yeah, I ride around with Paul in my car. Well, a cutout of him until I can talk to him and replace it.
She has Paul McCartney everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, he just got married,
He just got married, yeah. He got married not quite a year ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so happy for
Yeah,
him.
this one ought to work, we hope.
Yeah, I hope everything works out for him, that's for sure. I wanted to see some of your paintings too while we're here, and at the end of the show, you know, make sure you stay tuned there because we're going to have a lot of her pictures that are going to be rolling over. Let me see some of the pictures you've got
the
here.
paintings?
Yeah. Some of these I want to put on T-shirts.
This one was done for the Humane Society in Clarksville, and it was donated as a door prize. That one there.
I really like
And
this.
then each of the boys, that's John, of course, and that's John again. Then we have Paul, and then that's Paul again. George. Pattern here, isn't it? Ringo. And then an abstract Ringo.
I love that one.
That one?
I love
Yeah.
that one.
The president of our Nashville Beatles Club owns this one. And then these were 4 very large panels that made one big painting. And that has gone to a man in West Virginia. He special commissioned that one. But I do more than just the Beatles.
I know you've got hundreds of pictures
Yes.
I've seen in your album. They're so fantastic.
That's what relaxes me, is to sit down and paint, do some kind of artwork.
I love the different methods that you use in painting. I don't think I've seen anybody quite do anything like that before.
There is an artist out there, his name's Patrick Carney. We hooked up on Facebook, as it turns out, and when I got to looking at his work and he was looking at mine, we're very similar.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
That's
we
neat.
connected that way because our art is very similar in the style that we use, and not a lot of people do the silhouette type. So.
How did you start out with the tattoos? How old were you when you first got those?
Oh, The tattoos are fairly recent.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, I always wanted one, and actually all I wanted was like a little butterfly or something, and my husband at the time was definitely no tattoos. Well, the minute we separated, that's the first thing I did was I'm like, I'm going to get a tattoo. Well, I had got to thinking about it by then, and I thought, well, you know, since it doesn't matter anymore, I'm going to go ahead and start with wings. So I got the wings logo as my first one.
Okay.
And because I wasn't sure if it was going to hurt. Well, for me it didn't hurt, and that was bad because they're addictive. And so from there it went there, then to the portrait, then the dragonfly, and then it just kept going. And this one, the big one over here, was the last one, and I've only had it about 2 months.
Did that hurt?
People will ask you, does it hurt? Everybody's tolerance for pain is different. For me, it's like an irritating sunburn. If it hurt, I wouldn't be getting them. All I can suggest is if you think you want one, start with something small, because if it does hurt, you don't want to sit through it for very long. Don't pick a big piece and think you'll be able to sit through it.
I like the colors on that. That's really neat.
She did. The girl that's done these is local in Franklin. She's very, very talented.
Really
She's booked up 3 months in advance.
Is it expensive?
No. And that's why she is very good,
that's
and
great.
she's not that expensive, but she's very popular. So
That's cute. I mean, it is so unique how you put the stuff together. Your mind just...
Oh, I can see something and I can turn it into something else.
That is so
But it'll
neat.
have beetles on it.
I mean, I see the kisses, I see the birds, I see him sitting at the... What is that?
That's him, and that's the back of the album cover. That's him and Linda and the kids.
Oh, Linda. I
Yeah.
see Linda, yeah.
Yeah, that's the back
And
of the
the-
album cover, and that's the picture of the 2 beetles that were...
Oh, he had 2 children by Linda. Did
he
have
had
2?
3 children.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, he had Mary, Stella, and James.
Oh,
Only one
great.
boy.
Yeah.
And Heather was Linda's child from a previous
I only
marriage.
knew of one. Yeah. Gosh, you've had such an exciting life, and you just got married a couple of years ago.
About little over 2 years ago. He's in England. I'm here. I'm trying to get to England, but immigrations is not cooperating with us right now. So
It's really hard,
it's
isn't
very hard. You wouldn't think that it would be that hard for an American to move to England. You
To
would
go to
think that
England.
it would be no problem at all, but it is extremely
it? So many
hard.
rules and regulations on
It's
those,
extremely
on the
hard.
visas and everything.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter that you're married to a citizen. It's just you have to either have money or you have to have a job waiting for you, or you know, be financially set,
Yeah.
which I'm none of the above. So we'll wait till I'm 62 and I can retire and hopefully draw Social Security, and then they'll let me move over. So
Yeah, you've been having a hard time. So you've only seen your husband a couple
twice
since
in 2
you
years.
married.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he comes over for 2 weeks and then I go over for 2 weeks.
How'd you meet
so.
him?
Online, and not through a dating. No,
Online?
not through a dating
Yeah.
service. When I finally decided I was going to England to do the whole Beatles, the London Abbey Road and Liverpool and all that, I thought, well, I'll go online and find a pen pal, and talk to somebody over there that would, you know, tell me. I didn't want to get into
little
the
bit about
tourist
England.
traps and, you know, and spend money I didn't need to and all that. And I had 2 women and 1 man reply to the email. And I thought, well, do I want to talk to a man or a woman? And I'm like, oh, let's talk to a man, you know. I'm single, why not? So we corresponded back and forth for and didn't exchange pictures, nothing like that. Just, you know, he told me he was interested in Nashville. So I told him about Nashville and the country music scene. He told me about England, and then it just slowly progressed. And then we started talking on AOL chat. He does not type fast, so that didn't go real well. And finally I said, okay, that's it, I'm coming over. And we had been talking at that point for almost 4 years. And I said,
4
well,
years.
yeah, I've got the money together, I'm gonna come over. Went over, he showed me London, he showed me Liverpool. Before I left, he'd asked my father for my hand, and then proposed to me before I left. And I'm like, are we sure we want to do this? Of course, then we were naive and thought, well, it'd be no problem for me to move to England. I'm a citizen, you know.
Of course.
He's born and raised there. Well, little did we know. So,
You'd have all these problems.
yeah, we're not the only ones having them, I'm sure, but it is frustrating. But we do have Skype now, so God
That's
bless
good.
Skype. So we do get to see each other on the computer and talk. So.
And you'll see him here soon in
I'll
August.
see him in August.
Yeah.
We're going over. I say we're going. My sister and I are going over. When he came over in January, his brother Nick came along as well as his sister, and it turns out that my sister and his brother had been talking online for a while.
Oh.
And they are now engaged.
Oh my God!
So I'm like,
This is
okay,
wild.
yeah,
I can't
it's-
believe this is so funny.
now my baby sister's going to marry my husband's brother eventually.
Those English guys, they
Yeah.
sure know how to get around fast, don't
You
they?
gotta watch the English. They're smooth talkers.
I know. Well, you know, you got to know each other for 4 years.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I
talking
mean,
online and everything, and it's kind of nice to be friends first, don't you think?
oh, you definitely have
yeah,
to be.
when you start a
I-
relationship like that.
Yeah, we pretty well knew about each other before we actually met, and then it was just the actual, okay, are you going to be what I think you are? And it's like he said, he was standing there waiting for me, and he thought, well, now what if she shows up and she's 4 foot tall and 300 pounds? Am I going to run?
Oh my God.
And he's like, no, I'll stick no matter what. He said, and I'll make it through the 2 weeks, and then we'll just part as good friends. But yeah, luckily it didn't turn out that way.
But see, when you're in love, you know, it doesn't
That's
matter.
It shouldn't matter.
It doesn't
It's,
matter.
you know, outside is just outside. That's not what counts. It's what's inside.
That's so true.
And
The outside's going to
He's-
fade away.
it will. It will. And we're not getting any younger. He's 2 years older than me, and you know, he's a wonderful person.
And another thing you
He's-
guys have in common, tattoos.
Well, now, but his are Led Zeppelin.
I saw a picture of him, and he's tattooed everywhere too.
Yes,
He's tattooed.
he is the Zeppelin fan.
He's a Zeppelin fan.
And that surprised me, because when we first started chatting, I just assumed, you know, with my age group and him being from England, he would know all about the Beatles and would be. He knew nothing about the Beatles. And he's like, no, the guys all were into Led Zeppelin, and the girls were the ones into the Beatles, all the screaming and he said, we just couldn't be bothered with it. So, you know, so yeah, he's a massive Led Zeppelin fan.
So was he
and
born in England?
Yes, yes, born in London, and he now lives about 40 miles northwest in Luton, which is where I hope to settle.
And
his whole family.
where were you born?
I was born in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
My father was military,
Yeah.
and so we traveled a lot.
You have any children?
I have two boys that are grown,
Has he got
and
children?
he's got 2 daughters. He's got Suzanne and Nina. Nina's the oldest, and she lives at home with Clive. And then Suzanne just moved to London. She was up in Leeds, and she's in advertising, and she got her a good job down in London. So she's where she wanted to be. So
That's so
she's very
neat.
happy.
Beatles, but I don't know anything compared to
Oh,
what you
no,
guys do.
no. Come sit and listen when we get to talking about the wives and the ex-wives and the girlfriends and the ones that nobody's supposed to know about that actually people knew about. And
Oh,
yeah,
they knew
weren't
about it.
they weren't the angels that everybody. Well, I
Yeah.
don't think people actually thought they were angels, but
Oh.
they were human.
My sister, when Elvis got married, she wanted to kill his wife.
Oh Lord.
She was just a little girl.
Priscilla?
Yeah.
Oh.
She couldn't stand it for
Priscilla.
him to be married.
Oh, I was devastated when Paul married Linda, but you know,
Oh.
she went through so much for that man, you know, that you learn to admire her.
Of
because
course you did.
had I been in that situation, I don't know that I could have done the things that she did and put up with the things she had to put up with through the media and the reporters and all that, because she wasn't a musician. She never
Yeah.
intended to be one, but she did it for Paul.
And
course.
it's so hard, when you're married to an entertainer like that. The news media and everybody's just down on you all the time, even in your private life. I mean, you can't do anything without having somebody from the news media there. What are those guys called?
Paparazzi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
paparazzi all the time on you, and it's really, really hard. If Paul came in here, if
Paul
just
came
Paul
in
just
and-
came in walking in here, what would you ask him?
What would I ask Paul if he came walking in? That's a tough question. First of all, it would be amazing that he walked in, and if I could talk at all, that would be amazing. I'm afraid I'd probably be tongue-tied. But I guess the one thing that I would want to know is would he have continued with his music had he not hooked up with John? If him and John had never met, would he have gone on with the music, or would he have gone into a different field? Because I know that he had studied to do other things, and I know music was a passion for him. But when you're a kid if you don't get into something like that and get involved, you end up doing other things. It's like me. I wish that I had done more with my art when I was younger, but circumstances, you know, led me to join the military and do other things. So my question, you know, I always wondered, if he hadn't met John, what would he have done?
Why does it take us so long to see those dreams and stuff come to pass in our life? We procrastinate. It's one of our worst enemies, I think, procrastination, and not having someone to believe in us.
Well, for me, I think the dreams we have as kids is we realize that we're kids and that it's probably just a dream and that it wouldn't happen, so we don't pursue it. And then when you get older, you're like, well, I could have done that. You know, why didn't I do that? It's because you didn't think you could at that age. And you get older and you realize you can do anything you want to.
I just think you're so amazing.
Thank you.
And the gift that God gave you is so precious and so wonderful, and I believe it needs to be shared with the world. And I think our audience believes that too. I just think that our audience is going to get a hold of you somehow, and maybe you can teach them some things and work with them. And if you have some dreams and visions out there in our audience, you would really like to know how to pursue your dreams, please contact Cheryl and let her talk with you and share her experiences with you. And she can tell you about a lot of other people that's in the groups, and maybe you might want to join some of the groups around here too.
There's a lot of meetup. Meetup has got a meetup for just about anything you can possibly think of. I was in a sushi meetup for a while, but found out I don't care for sushi, so I didn't stay in that one very long. But
I mean, there's groups all over, aren't there?
Yes,
everywhere.
For any
so
interest.
Even if you're not in this area, you know, there's some other groups you might want to meet up with, and so please, you know, please do get a hold of Cheryl and talk with her about that, and she can hook you up with some people, and I think they'll be real interesting and help your life. We love you, and we just love you, Cheryl, and we just bless you for being on our program, and I just pray that everything works out great for your life.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
Last night and early